Before I start today's video, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please click the like button. Today is D23 Day at Disneyland, and we're going to talk about what's not open in the parks today. Alright, let's start with Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which is currently under refurbishment. Supposedly the rumor is they're going to be adding a Walt Disney animatronic. Considering it's being done by Bob Iger, I'm really scared of what's going to be coming out of that animatronic's mouth. The next thing you aren't getting is Space Mountain. Space Mountain again, closed down for refurbishment. I have no idea when this is supposed to reopen. I think it's scheduled maintenance, so I suspect sometime in September. Now, one rumor I've heard about Tomorrowland is that they're planning on a massive refurbishment with the possibility of adding capacity. The only problem with that is before they can add any capacity to either park, they have to add parking capacity, i.e. they need to build a new parking structure somewhere. Parking structure project would take 2 to 3 years probably, and they would have to completely complete the parking structure before you could even begin a new expansion into either one of these parks. There's a contract with the city of Anaheim that specifically states that the parking capacity has to match the park capacity. So if you add capacity in the park, you need to add capacity with the parking lots. So we probably are not going to see anything new for at least 5 years. Alright, next. Haunted Mansion Holiday is back, at least partially. There is no standby queue. So if you are unaware of the fact that you need to get into the virtual queue to get on this attraction, you're not going to get on this attraction today. The virtual queues run at 7 a.m. You do not need to be in the park to get into that virtual queue. And then there's a 12 noon queue that you do need to be in the park for. However, I'm guessing that a lot of people coming here for D23 are not aware that you need to be in a queue. Next, we have Tiana's Boreal Adventure, which is currently still under construction. And it was released yesterday that the animatronics are basically broken. They are failing in Disney World massively, and it is getting progressively worse. So my guess is that we're not going to
down this way, folks, there are 2 lots.
I am going to guess that it is not going to open in 2024. I've heard that the parts for these animatronics are difficult to get. So this thing may not open in 2025. On top of this closure, Hungry Bear restaurant is closed, Pooh's Corner, and the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh is also closed. Now I'm going to imagine that once they finish the refurbishment for the 3 things I just mentioned and the rest of Critter Country, that will open up and we'll just be back to closing Tiana's Boreal Adventure. And like I said, I suspect that it is going to be closed for the rest of this year and probably into next year unless they try and run it out, but they're already getting a ton of bad press for what's going on in Florida, and I don't think they want it doubly here. So I'm going to guess they're going to lock things down until they have this all figured out, which, like I said, will probably not be until next year. Last but not least, Fantasmic. Fantasmic's been having a lot of technical issues of late. You have Maleficent on nights who can't rise above and ends up being on the ground. For the part where she's supposed to turn into the dragon, Bud Murphy went up in smoke a few months ago, back in May. Now we've had problems with the pyrotechnics. Specifically, one night Mickey was walking up the stairs to do his usual face the crowd, raise his hands in the air, and have pyrotechnics come out of his sleeves. Well, the pyrotechnics started coming out as he was climbing up the stairs, and it caused quite a kerfuffle. Another problem, which I believe happened on July 22nd, is that the water pyrotechnics, the 6 barges, went off prematurely while King Louie and the apes from the Jungle Book were floating around. So not only is it prematurely, but it was real premature. And I guess they're lucky that none of the cast members in the ape costumes were hurt or burned. The solution for this was not actually to fix the barges, but to remove them. They've removed 4 of them. The 2 center ones are still there, but they do not use them for the show currently. All the pyrotechnics are actually coming from the island, and that just makes this show about half of its usual self. I mean, the pyrotechnics are the main part of the show, let's face it. I also heard that recently on the Mark Twain at the end, some of those pyrotechnics were having problems. So this has just been a big mess. Disney doesn't have any answers. Their answer, instead of trying to fix the problem, is to shut it down or remove it. That's basically with everything these days. Alright, last thing before I wrap this up. I really feel sorry for anyone who actually paid the $100 to over $1,000 a day to go to D23 this year. I've seen the itinerary, I've seen the exhibits. It's pathetic. Last night they had Bob Iger come out there and tell all the pixie dusters that he's all about entertaining people. My question is, since when? You haven't been entertaining people for a long time, Bob. You haven't been entertaining them in the parks. You haven't been entertaining them at the theaters. You haven't been entertaining them on linear and streaming. So where are you entertaining people? Secondly, all the big announcements have already come out. He had his earnings call on Wednesday. He touted some stuff in there. It was a lot of BS in my opinion, so I'm not even going to go into what he was talking about. And the biggest reveal they did at Comic-Con in San Diego, and that is Robert Downey Jr. returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Dr. Doom for Avengers Doomsday. So what did we get? Well, we got an announcement for Moana 2. And they marched The Rock out there to basically say that Moana 2 is very important to people of color. Okay, so what does that mean? The white people shouldn't go see the movie? Is that what he's trying to say? I'm very confused by that statement. I saw the trailer. The trailer looked like garbage. If you don't want to hear a little bit of spoilers, go ahead and fast forward about 30 seconds because I'm going to talk some spoilers right now. Basically, the movie is going to be the same as the first one. They're going to have to lift some curse. They put the younger sister in there for the beginning of it. So all you could do was merchandise her. That's all she's there for, is she's a cute little girl. So you make little stuffed animal or stuffed toys of her, and they're gonna sell. She's cute, I'll admit it. Like I said, what isn't cute is just a rehash of the first movie. You've got a curse, and then they're gonna go Lightyear and have this huge group of misfits that they're going to have to redeem at the end. So it's just recycling old storylines from the original Moana and from a failed animated feature. And at this point, I'm going to wrap up this video. So like my father told me when I was 18 years old, get out.